Poisonburst Arrow Witchhunter. This build should melt everything. But builds like this can fall apart at any moment. And somehow, it's usually right when things start going well. This is Roulette Run Repeat. We spin for 3 builds, pick one, and if we die, the run ends. So the question is, does this melt everything in its path, or does it fall apart the second we get comfortable? Two beautiful things. First, we get to use Poisonburst Arrow from level 1, and second, meta progression kickstarts the build. Endgame supports from the start. Poisonburst Arrow releases a burst of poison on hit. It's not flashy, but it's effective. Early on, this build forces patience. Things don't die instantly, but they will die. In Red Veil, the Rust King gives us a run for our money. We manage to take him down and are rewarded with more meta progression back in town. A bow upgrade. Big power spike. And this is usually where patience starts slipping. Our first 30 spirit goes to Wind Dancer. Wind Dancer builds stacks that give us more evasion. When we get hit, a wave is released that deals damage and knocks enemies back. Perfect for a ranged build. In Agam Village, we find the Executioner. He doesn't have that name by mistake. He can be a run ender. Thankfully, we had invested in Strength, which gives us max life. We play it slow, and patience saves us. Time for the Act 1 finale. Geonor. It wasn't quick, but that's the point. Safe means patient, and patient means alive. And if you like runs where one mistake can end everything, subscribe. You won't want to miss the next one. In the Vastiri outskirts, the build transforms. I realize there's an easy way to improve my clear. Contagion. Contagion is a debuff that deals chaos damage over time. But the most important part? When an enemy dies, it spreads other chaos damage over time, like poison. Now everything doesn't just die, it spreads. At this point, everything we touch is already dead. We take our time with the hyena and are rewarded with our first level 5 skill gem. We engrave Toxic Growth. Toxic Growth fires toxic plants into the air. They deal damage when they land and become a ticking time bomb. Thankfully, poisoning the plant makes it explode faster and with more damage. This takes our single target to another level. We get a warning at Baby Jamin-Ra. The game is telling us to get more lightning resistance. Message confirmed with his swarm of beetles. Ignoring that message, that's how runs end. We heed the warning and grab a lightning resistance ring from the elemental offering in buried shrines. Time for Trials of Sekimas. We take down Rattlecage with no issues. Our first ascendancy points go to Pitiless Killer, which gives our hits Culling Strike. Poison is teaching us patience. Kills don't need to be fast, they just need to be inevitable. Rush it and it all comes tumbling down. We get an extra level before fighting Torgol, just to be safe. Patience pays off. Time for the Act 2 finale. Jamin-Ra. Toxic Growth makes quick work of him. Up to this point, patience has carried the run. But from here on out, the run can fall apart at any time. Our eyes are fixated on being able to use Sliver Tongue unique bow. Level 39 will be a big power spike, and the closer we get to that, the harder it is to stay patient. With that in mind, we skip Mighty Silverfist. We'll get him later. Be honest. Do you wait for the power spike or risk it early? Lag plus spooky rare almost got us. That's what happens when we speed up. 3 more levels for Sliver Tongue. We get some big upgrades. Much more evasion on chest and gloves. Let's see how Zakotl goes. Yeah, that spiked the heart rate. 1 more level for Sliver Tongue. In Matlin Waterways, we remember our new chest gave us more spirit. We add Herald of Blood to the mix to try and get more chaining going. I don't feel the impact, so I pivot to Withering Presence, which increases chaos damage taken. Level 39. This is what we've been waiting for. Sliver Tongue. If this doesn't feel strong, nothing will. Another warning shot. The game is keeping us humble. Amazing clear. Better single target. At this point, everything is already dead, and that's when it gets dangerous. We can't get too confident. We cap our resistances and head for Trials of Chaos. This should feel free at this point, but the run almost ends, not because of a boss, but because of the heat-seeking explosion on death. We got greedy, thought we could push it. Would you have even attempted this? We reset. Second time is the charm, and thankfully we had Manticore at the end. Our second ascendancy points go to Zealous Inquisition, which will help our clear even further. Oh, now that is satisfying. At the apex of Temple of Kopek, Katsuli gets destroyed. An important milestone, Viper Napuatsi. Right before the fight, I respect some points to get poison immunity. Thankfully, we only had to see a single spear phase due to strong damage. Clean. Time for the Act 3 finale. Doriani. No problem. We stayed locked in. That's the difference. Runs like this don't end when it's hard, they end when you slip. 1 act to go. A positioning mistake like that is exactly what ends a run like this. At this point, things start to feel smooth. Maybe a little too smooth. Toxic Growth, Poisonburst Arrow, rinse and repeat. But can't get caught in the 2-button trance. We need to stay focused. Back in town, we use the reforging bench on boots and hit 25 movement speed.
Yes, science!
We upgrade our helmet and desecrate our final prefix. Percent evasion. Fantastic.
You're goddamn right.
Solitary confinement. Prisoner. Some scary moments. Snap back and focus. In Nakanu, we get a Greater Jeweler's Orb, Omen of Sinistral Necromancy, and some new boots. But our resistances need help. Where's a Storm Rune when we need one? We get one and switch to the new boots. Time for the Act 4 finale. Tavakai. This is it. One mistake ends the run. Do you play this safe or trust the damage? We saw some moves we've never seen before.
Help!
We make it through. This run has stayed alive because of patience. The moment we aren't, it's over. Ultimately, the question is, when will we stop being patient? Because it's not the hard fights that kill these runs, it's the ones where you get comfortable. See you on the next spin.